Welcome back to the AfterHours podcast. I'm your host, Francisco. Got Joey with me next to me on the mic today, and then our guest is Stacie. How you doing, Stacie?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
I mean, we're doing pretty good. Just a little quarantine. This is my first remote podcast, so this is fun.
I've done one or two, so just starting to get used to it a little bit,
Yeah, it's a little different staring at a blank screen right now, so.
Yeah, definitely different than, actual seeing a person, but.
Face to face, right.
Well, anyway, Stacie, you are from the Pickle Back bar in Marne, Michigan. So, how is that going? And how'd you get into the bar industry?
The way we started the Pickle Back, my mom was hired on as the front of house manager. It was over 20 years ago when it was the Pit Stop bar. She was the front of the house manager, like I said. And when I turned 18, I started bartending there. And that was in, I'm going to date myself. I don't know, maybe 20 years ago. So I started working there and I put myself through college and, my mom worked there for a long time and managed and worked with what she had, I guess. And then I graduated in 2006 from Central Michigan. And I was so excited. I was like, okay, world, you're going to give me a job. And of course that didn't happen. And I kind of just started going full time at the Pit Stop at the time. And it just wasn't what I wanted with a college degree. So I actually went out and started selling purses and belts, leather goods. And I eventually started making the products. And that wasn't really what I wanted to do either. So I started working for a knobs and pulls company, a hardware company. Started off in sales, went to marketing. And the month that my mom and I decided to buy the bar, I was offered a promotion and I was really had to make that decision whether I wanted to go into my degree with my mom and own a business. I have a entrepreneurship major. So weird, I know. Or stick with what I knew and what I was doing good at. And of course, that went out the window. And we started the process. My mom cashed in her retirement and put down the down payment. And so that's kind of where we're at now. And when you ask my mom, Janine, why we bought the bar, it was either work for ourselves or work for somebody else. So we kind of went that route. So.
Yeah, for sure. Me, Joey, and some other friends, we all started a business or two or three in this podcast. And we absolutely love just like the entrepreneurial spirit. And we really don't want to work for anybody but ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think that's what drives, a lot of people that are, entrepreneurial minded. And after doing this for the last year and a half, I wouldn't want to work for anyone else.
Yes. Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's kind of how we got started with this podcast is we do love, just interviewing other entrepreneurs, but we do have a fascination with bars and restaurants because we do like, food and drink. Having a couple of drinks in the afternoon doesn't hurt,
Yes. Cheers, by the way. I'm having one with you.
Oh, absolutely. Sweet. What are you having?
I am really cool and I'm having a White Claw.
Oh, nice. Good choice.
Yeah, Joey's favorite drink.
I won't say favorite, but they're pretty good.
I'm trying to watch the Kales now that I'm not working, so.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, White Claws are definitely one of the healthier options. A little better, a little healthier than the Budweisers we're drinking right now.
Budweiser, that's funny.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So you mentioned that you and your mom own the bar together. What is that like? Because I don't know if I could personally own a business with my parents.
It's definitely different. In the beginning, 6 years ago, when we first bought the bar, we did butt heads, and I know my place. I wouldn't have this bar without her. So I do try to take the back burner to her, and I'm strong-minded just as much as she is. But like I said, I know my place and I know that she gets the final say. 6 years ago when we first bought the bar, we butt heads a lot, but over the years, we do agree. I put my input in and she'll let me know what she thinks and we just kind of wing it, I guess. I want to say wing it. And that's what it is. You have to put faith in your decisions and just go with it and trust and hope and pray that you are making the right decisions in the business.
Yeah, for sure. There is no one-stop shop for like an entrepreneurial book or like an entrepreneurial like guideline, right? Like everyone has to make their own decisions, when paving their own business. So right. I completely understand that. And you just have to have confidence in the decisions you make at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What would you say your favorite part about owning the bar is?
My favorite part is definitely the relationships that I've built within not only my employees, but my customers. Marne is my hometown, and I grew up there, and my grandma and grandpa had 11 kids, and most of them live in Marne, and can't even tell you how many cousins I have, probably over 30. And so when I open my doors and I see a cousin walk through the door, or an uncle or an aunt, they know this person over there. Everybody just knows each other. So it's just a really great camaraderie, and my bar has become my family in a way. My family has quadrupled, you know what I mean? And I already have a big family as it is. So it's really rewarding to see people every day and to know them and to love them. Like, it's very weird for me to say that, but I do love the people that I see every day, and I get to know them, and it's just like a big, huge family. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's like a recurring theme, I feel like, with most bartenders and people in the restaurant industry, is that they don't do it not necessarily because they love serving drinks, but they love the atmosphere that they can create, and then also, engaging with their customers, and then also growing and fostering that sense of community within their establishment.
Definitely. I mean, we just love seeing our customers, and I love seeing my employees learn from me and communicate with my customers the way that I do, and get to know them on a personal level. So it's really fun to see my employees turn into me, so to speak.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any stories from customers that you'd like to share? Like, what's a really good story that sticks out, if you don't mind sharing one?
I've been thinking about this question for the last day, and a lot of the stories that I feel like I have I'm kind of like a lawyer, where I have like this client confidentiality thing going. So I definitely hear a lot. I'm some people's therapist, and I'm getting these calls and text messages from people I haven't seen in 2 months because of the quarantine. And it's just, I don't know. There's so many stories, and a lot of stories I can't tell you. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I understand. We talked about Marne, Michigan, and it is pretty close to Grand Rapids, Michigan, correct?
Yes. People don't realize how close it is. I live in Grand Rapids. My house is in Grand Rapids, and it takes me 8 minutes to get to the bar. So
wow.
When you say Grand Rapids, it's a big, huge area, but Marne is not far. You're downtown Grand Rapids, and it might take you 12, 15 minutes to get to my bar. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What would you say sets your bar aside from other bars?
Oh, goodness. I think we run our bar a lot differently than other bars and restaurants, in that we don't have 15, 20, 30 employees. I have 10 employees, and 5 of them are in the kitchen. So I have 5 out in the front of the house that are bartending. I don't have waitresses. I don't have, bus boys. My bartenders are the wait staff as well. So we get to do it all. We are our own bar backs. We are the janitor. We are the bouncer. You know what I mean? So you're not just sitting behind a bar waiting for somebody to sit there. You're always trying to figure out what's your next step. Okay, I've got a table. I just got a four top over there. I've got 5 guys at the bar that are drinking like fish. My bartenders, I train them so that they know their next step before they do it. So, on a Monday night, we can have a great night, and I can have a couple conversations, and then another Monday night, I can be so busy where I can't talk to Brian, my favorite customer at the time. You know what I mean? I can't have a conversation with him that night. So I kind of train my employees to be entrepreneurs in their own way, where they get to decide where and when and how to do their job. And it just kind of works that way.
Yeah, that's great. Right. Sorry, it's like raining super hard out.
Really? The sun just came out here. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like raining super hard, so I'm like listening, trying to like think, and then it's like just pounding.
You guys are in Toledo?
Yeah.
Yep. So we're a few hours away.
When are you guys opening back up, like your restaurants and bars? Has that been
Actually, today was the first day they were able to open back up. They have a lot of restrictions. You have to wear masks. Well, I know the bartenders and everybody, behind the scenes has to wear masks. And then customers, like groups can all have to be like separated, so far away. And then you can only be at, I believe it's 33% or
occupancy.
Yeah, it's like between 33 and 50, I believe. So they're just starting to open up. But from other bar and restaurant owners in the area have told us they might be like a week out of operation still.
I don't see myself turning around and saying, I'm opening tomorrow, everyone. Like there's no way. I can't do that. So I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you have to, rally the troops and, make sure everything's set up. Do you guys have food there?
Yeah, we have a huge menu. We do a breakfast, lunch, and dinner Monday through Saturday, and then we just do lunch and dinner on Sundays. Now, when we do open back up, that's going to change. I'm going to have to, I already know I'm going to have limited hours, limited menu. Talking to other business owners and the people that I know and trust. And, I can sit here and plan for hours and hours, and it can go out the window in a matter of minutes when something else changes or something else happens or something else comes up.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be really hard, starting back up because you've never really probably had, limited occupancy or anything like that. So really seeing and adjusting your, business accordingly is going to probably take some time.
And also Michigan too, like they just keep pushing it back. I mean, it's probably for the better, but it's not like Ohio where they just said like May 15th you can open up, and then I know in Michigan the governor just keeps pushing it back. All right, it was April, and then it was May, and then now it's May 28th, and then it's June, and then it could be like June 15th.
When this all first started, my mom and I sat down. It was March 16th. We sat down and we just talked and talked and talked in circles, and we just agreed that there's no way we're coming back till June. And whether that's true or not, I'm not sure, but it's just a scary situation. And, I don't know. It's just things that have never really happened, and not many people you can talk to get advice or what are the right steps? Who knows?
Right, yeah, because nothing like this. I mean, there's been situations that have been close, but there's never really been a complete shutdown for this long. So there's really no processes and procedures, put in place to actually get back to, regular everything,
It is kind of nice that I am able to take, like, Ohio has been open since today, and Tennessee, I think, has been like a week and a half. So I can kind of get some information from some people in some restaurants that are what they're doing and how they're doing it. But we're just going to have to come up with a plan and figure it out from there. So like I said, take that entrepreneurial spirit and just wing it, I guess. So,
so this is pretty funny. I had a phone call with another bar owner earlier. We were just talking, just little introductories and stuff. And, the topic of COVID came up, and I was just asking, I was like, hey, like, how's it affected your business? Like, what creative things have you done? And he said that he started going door to door. So like people that were like his usual like patrons that came into the restaurant and to his bar, they could no longer come out because they're closed in Michigan. He would go to their house, you'd knock on their door or ring their doorbell and leave a 6-pack at their door.
There you go. That would work.
And I thought that was the coolest thing.
Might be illegal in Michigan, so you don't have to tell the MLCC. They're fine.
Yeah.
As long as he didn't charge him for it, it's fine. But yeah. I'm sure he did. But
how I knew it was real was with like COVID and stuff. I've been at the University of Toledo for 5 years, and I think we've had a combined 3 or 4 days off due to weather or anything like a business, or not business, but like a school having like electrical issues or anything like that. Total of 4 days, maybe over 5 years. And then in March, they just said, hey, don't come back after spring break.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen anything like that ever.
So kind of going along with everything we're talking about, what would you say is the most important lesson that you've learned over the years?
I guess don't get too comfortable. The pandemic could be around the corner. Yeah, things change, new things come up all the time, relying on people just in general, whether they're customers or employees. It's just so different, and you never know what's going to happen. You could have an employee that calls in because they're sick. You can have an employee call in because their kid got hurt. You can't predict what's going to happen. So just don't get comfortable. Don't think that what you're doing is going to be the same thing that you're doing every day, because obviously, case in point, today I'm sitting at home on a Friday afternoon at 2:30 when I should be sleep deprived and going on my 60th hour of work this week, so.
Yeah, for sure. We talked about, the highs and the highs of being an entrepreneur and owning a bar. But what would you say is your least favorite part? I mean, it sounds like you want to work 60-hour work weeks if this is the case.
Oh my
right?
gosh, I never knew I had such a work ethic until 6 years ago when we bought the bar. So I do love working, but my least favorite is just the sporadic things and situations that do come up. If somebody, I have 10 employees, if somebody can't cover their shift, I'm going to cover that. And I'm not complaining about that whatsoever. It's my decision to only have 10 employees, right? I live 8 minutes away from the bar. I did that on purpose so that I can live and breathe my business. And, you might call it a downfall. People, friends and family might think, oh, Stacie can't come to another, wedding or whatever was going on. But my life is my business, and that might be a downfall, but I try not to let it be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think if you want to be successful as an entrepreneur, I mean, you really do have to put like most of your eggs in one basket, right? I mean, nobody just half-asses being an entrepreneur. Like, that's just not a thing you can do.
Exactly. and like that just goes back to my work ethic. You buy a bar in your hometown where everyone knows each other. If they're not related to you, it's just such a microscope that all I could do was succeed. And that's what I feel we have been doing for the past 6 years. So
yeah, for sure. Do you find that like being next to Grand Rapids and that close, do you find that like a lot of people do come to your bar like on a bar crawl, or if they just want to find a new hotspot,
Definitely. The nice thing about it is that right down the road, not even a mile, there's the Berlin Raceway. That brings in a lot of different customers. People going to see the races or the fair that goes on. They do a lot of rodeos. So they'll come early in the morning for breakfast to go get their car ready or their horses ready or whatever. And then they'll come in for lunch. And then, we have people that come in from out of town to do the races too, like big names. I'm not a racer. Couldn't tell you who they are, but they come in and they're like, I'm a big name in NASCAR. I'm like, good for you. What do you want to drink? So, but I mean, we see new customers every day, and it's so cool to see how we've evolved and how our name has gotten out there, just by word of mouth or just by Facebook or just having the fun name of the Pickle Back, and having our fried pickles and just the fun things that we do. So
I don't think we asked this question. How did you get the name actually? How did you guys come up with that?
So I was on the phone with my mom right before you guys called, and it was kind of a process of elimination, and what made the most sense. The bar previous was called the Pit Stop, and obviously they wanted to do the whole racetrack down the road with Berlin Raceway. Before that, it was called the Silo Gopher, and the Silo Gopher was probably the biggest bar in Ottawa County at their time. Before that, it was the Marne bar, and before that was the Berlin bar, and I'm probably missing some bar names in between there. This bar has been in Marne for so many years that it was just, how do we name something that can be successful? And having the name the Pickle Back, it was just nice because not only could we sell the picklebacks, and as many picklebacks as I've sold throughout the years, it paid for the deck that we built. You know what I mean? So it was just something fun and unique. But then I love working in the kitchen. I love cooking. And I thought, we could do fried pickles, and we could do a Reuben sandwich. And instead of sauerkraut, we could make our homemade pickle slaw. Went in the kitchen, made that up. One of our top sellers is the pickled Reuben. So we just kind of evolved with the Pickleback shot and kind of just brought it into our business. But I will tell you, I never want to do another Pickleback shot ever again.
When you said pickle Reuben, me and Joey just looked at each other. We were like so hungry. Like,
my mouth is watering a little bit right now.
The previous bar, the Pit Stop, had a Reuben sandwich. It was pre-cooked, pre-frozen, pre-portioned corned beef. You take it out of the freezer package, you slap it on the grill, and then you put canned sauerkraut on.
No.
Now, when we took over, I was like, no. We're going to make our corned beef in-house. We're going to slice it in-house. We're going to make this pickle slaw, put it on there, put it on some nice rye bread, Swiss cheese, Thousand Island, and it's so different. It's so different, and it has a crunch to it. And I know people like their sauerkraut, but I'll tell you, you have a pickled Reuben, you'll never go back.
No, I want one right now.
Yeah, when everything's over, we're definitely going to have to come and visit and get one of those.
Absolutely.
I got the keys to the bar. Let's go. It's just the three of us.
Absolutely. So is there a reason why you don't want to do a pickleback shot again?
I've done too many.
There's no such thing.
Like if I'm just sitting at the bar, my shift is over, I sit down at the bar, that's what my customers send to me. Send Stacie a pickleback. Please no, I don't want any more.
So going off that, what is your choice of drink, Ben?
I like everything, so that's kind of a downfall, I guess. But I'll of course, White Claw's good, any kind of seltzer, Captain and Diet. I do like craft beer, of course. I really like the New Holland Dragon's Milk White. I don't know if you guys have had that before.
I have not had that. I might have to try it.
Like there's the Dragon Milk, which is a stout, and it's the very heavy, high percent. I think it's like 9 or 11%, something like that. Well, they made a Dragon's Milk White, so it's like a 7% instead, and it actually looks like a Bud Light when it comes out, but it still tastes like a stout, but it's not as heavy and it's not as high in alcohol.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's probably my favorite beer from New Holland. So.
Oh man. So if you're at the end of your shift and a customer does want to get you a drink or a shot, what is the shot that they should send you?
Probably a shot that I made up. I call it a pom-pom. It's pomegranate liquor, tequila, and and I know it sounds weird, but I'm
interested.
The most amazing thing in the entire world. We sell so many that I pre-mix them and just have them in the cooler ready to go because that's what everybody wants. So that's kind of my go-to shot.
All right, can you say it one more time? I'm about to make one of these.
So it's pomegranate liquor,
okay,
tequila,
okay,
and sour mix.
Okay.
Yes.
Definitely have to try that when we get there too. I don't think Frankie's will be as good as yours.
Again, I've got the keys to the bar. Let's go.
We should have came down. Our last podcast we actually did in house, so we should have came down there.
We dropped the ball.
It's okay. We'll make it for lost time.
Yeah.
We'll have to do like a version 2 or like a second episode.
Yeah, round 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Round 2. It's punny.
A pickleback trip.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Right. So I have a quick question. So how far away are you guys from like the university?
Grand Valley?
Yeah.
I don't really go to Allendale.
Okay.
But I would probably say like 15 minutes maybe. Back in the day when it was the pit stop, there was really no bars or restaurants in Allendale. And the pit stop was the place to go. So the pit stop was known for Friday and Saturday nights with a DJ. There was a fight every Friday or Saturday night. I was 18 years old, breaking up fights and slinging drinks. And so, yeah, I think about 15 minutes.
That's pretty dope.
So you guys, do you have a lot of college students that come there or no?
Yeah, we see a lot of college students. It's, Coopersville is really close. And obviously Coopersville and Kennewaw are the big high schools around that area. The kids that are turning 21 right now, those group of kids are starting to come in, and they're all these big groups of kids are all turning 21 at the same time. And they're so nice. And I'm just so excited, have been excited to have all of them turn 21 because they're such sweethearts. I just love them to death. And I don't know. It's a big Coopersville Kennewaw bar.
Oh,
so.
Joey's 21. So
yeah, I'm still a youngin.
Just 21? Do you still get ID'd?
Man, most of the time. I mean, it depends. Like a lot of the bars in like this area, we go to a lot. So we don't get ID'd there. But if I go to a new place, it's like there's a pretty good chance.
I still get ID'd. You're fine. I love it when the 21-year-olds come in, or even like 21 to 25, and I ask them for their ID, and they're like, "Really, you're gonna ID me?" I'm like, "You are a baby. I can ID you. It's fine."
Yeah, I'm 23, and I still get offended when people ask me for my ID. I'm like, all right, come on, guys. Like,
when you turn the old age of 37 like me, and you get ID'd, you're like, "Oh my God, thank you."
That's funny.
That's crazy. I mean, when you were 18 and stuff, though, I mean, did you get ID'd or were you allowed to just drink for free or whatever, you know?
No, when I was 18, I was not. You can bartend in Michigan at 18, but you can't drink until you're 21. So it was definitely, I don't know. I really, even to this day, I don't like to drink and work. It just makes me shaky and sweaty, and I don't know. I just don't want to do it. But I'm not going to say I've never drank when I was under 21.
Yeah.
Maybe just once or twice, though, you know.
Yeah, I'm from Marne. What else am I going to do?
Is that like a big city or average size, or what would you say?
It's probably like 50% related to me. I really have no idea. It's a lot of farm town. I mean, we have the downtown Marne, quote unquote, where there's my bar. There's a pizza shop, Rinaldi's across the street. Amazing pizza. We have a bank, and that's about it. You know, there's no stoplights in Marne. I don't know.
So you're getting late.
Yeah, I can definitely relate. Sounds a lot like my hometown. There's one bar, there is a bank, and I think a ice cream shop now. I don't know. It changes a lot. The only thing that is consistent is the bar and the bank.
That's what we need. We need beer and money. That's all we need.
Hey, that's true.
Dude, I remember we drove by your house. There was one gas station in the entire road.
Yeah.
There's like a lone gas station and like railroad track. I was like, what is it in the city, dude?
Yeah, that's about all there is. There's one gas station, railroads, and then a bar, ice cream place, and bank. So I get where you're coming from.
That's all you need. We're good to go.
Yeah, for anyone listening, he's from like Britain,
Michigan, Tecumseh, Michigan. I don't know. A lot of people probably haven't heard of it, but
Where is that on the east side?
Yeah, Southeast Michigan.
Yeah, I think I used to do art shows with the leather goods, and I think we used to do the art show out there.
Yeah, there's a few of those around. There's a lot in Ann Arbor-ish area, and that's only about 25, 30 minutes from where I grew up. So
I've definitely been there.
Yeah, and I'm from south of Detroit, like Woodhaven, like Gibraltar area. I probably don't know where that's at. I mean, most people don't. But
I've been north of Detroit, but not south.
It's like south of Detroit, like just north of Monroe. So I come from a little bit bigger. Definitely not like metropolitan, but it's pretty populated. It's not sticks or anything. Like,
I think the kids call it what, downriver?
Yeah, the kids call it downriver these days.
Very nice. Downriver of 8 Mile, right?
Literally.
Yep, literally.
Yeah. Literally though. And then so I mean, if me and Joey come in, obviously we got to get a Reuben. But what is one other food item that you'd recommend to anyone else coming in?
The fried pickles, obviously. Okay. We wrap those in wonton wrappers, and then we put Swiss cheese, ham, and a pickle, and then they're deep fried. Normally served with ranch, but we also make a house-made spicy ranch that's amazing. But also going with our pickled theme, we have what's called the 16th Ave. That's the road that we're on. It's either grilled or fried chicken, Swiss cheese, tomato pickle, pickle slaw, and chipotle mayo.
Oh, man.
I ran that as a special probably 3-4 years ago, and everyone that I served to said, you need to put this on your menu. So that's one of our top sellers as well. But after this whole COVID thing, I don't know if we're going to be doing breakfast. I hope we do. Our breakfast is by far the best breakfast. If you have a hangover, you want to go to the Pickle Back for breakfast because we have the best, just eggs and potato, just good. But we have got an Irish omelet that's really good. Our breakfast burrito, I want to go to the bar and get some breakfast.
I'm getting food right after this because all this food talk, I'm thinking of it now. I'm like, that all sounds so good.
I really do love food and, thinking about it and what we can put together and what we have in house and how we can do things different. It's just really interesting to me. And I just love creating new things. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And speaking of hangovers, what is your hangover cure or your hangover recipe?
The older you get, now that since you guys are younger than I, the older you get, the worse the hangovers get. So it used to be, greasy breakfast and a Bloody Mary, but that doesn't even cut it anymore. So there is no hangover cure. You just have to feel it at 37.
Follow-up question. Do you guys serve Bloody Marys with like your brunch and breakfast?
Definitely. Like
Nice.
Saturday mornings when we open at 7:30 in the morning, any Saturday morning shift that I have or my mom, we definitely get a lot of Bloody Mary mixes going. But it's really funny because like on a Friday night at 10 o'clock and somebody orders a Bloody Mary, I'm like, who the heck just ordered a Bloody Mary at 10 o'clock at night on a Friday? Get out. Just go home.
I may have done that once or twice.
Oh, I just called you out.
Yeah, no, it's completely fine though. I mean, sometimes you're just sitting there. We actually have this local bar. Jake's one of my favorite bartenders there. He used to make a crazy good Bloody Mary. So sometimes, Friday night 10, I'd be like, "Yo, Mike, can I get a Bloody Mary?" He'd be like, "Yeah." Give me a minute, because it's like 15. It's like 15 ingredients. So like everybody else is just there, and then he's like whips all them out, and then another one or two people would be like, "Oh, those kind of look good."
And then he has to make 80 more.
No, for real. I remember also one time it was like 4 p.m. or like 5 p.m. We went to a distillery in Toledo.
Oh yeah,
I got a normal drink. I got like a beer or something, and then Joey's like, "Yeah, can I get a Bloody Mary?"
Well, actually, it was a distillery, so they had this moonshine. It was called a Bloody Mommy.
Yeah.
So it was a Bloody Mary, but with moonshine in it instead, with homemade moonshine. It was pretty. It was definitely a lot stronger than a regular Bloody Mary, but I still enjoyed it.
That sounds terrible, actually.
That's what I said. Like I seen it on the menu, and I was like, "There's no way anybody orders this." Next thing I know, "Yo, can I get a Bloody Mommy?" I'm like, "No." Like,
yeah, I'm a little wild. I was like, might as well try it, but would I get it again? Probably.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm a big Bloody Mary, Bloody whatever, anything like mommy type of guy. I mean, which is weird because like back in the day, like before, I guess I can't say back in the day, I'm only 21, but a little while back, I was like, oh, Bloody Marys. But then after you start trying them and trying different ones, you're like, oh, these can be pretty good.
all right. Anyway, more about you.
I'm a bartender. I get to hear about you too. Come on.
Yeah, I just don't think we're as interesting, honestly. But no, I saw that you guys hosted a lot of events. You guys do have like costume parties for Halloween. You guys also go all out for New Year's and 4th of July and stuff like that. What are some really big events that people need to come out for?
My most favorite event is our golf outing.
Nice.
So we do it annually, and my mom used to do it for the pit stop. And the first year that we owned the Pickle Back, I just assumed that my mom wanted to be the person, And she said, "I don't want to do it anymore. I'm too old. I want you to take over." And I was like, okay. So she taught me and told me exactly what I needed to do. And the first year went amazing, and it has just evolved into the most fun day. I mean, we all start at the Pickle Back for breakfast. We have a shotgun at 8 a.m. Me and a couple of my friends drive around in golf carts, and we sell 50/50s and do some Jello shots. And I just have to give a shout out to Western Greens in Marne. They are amazing. They do everything that we need them to do, and it's more of a customer appreciation day. And all the prizes that I get, I reach out to all of our suppliers, like not only our beer suppliers, but I reach out to my Cisco rep and Gordon Foods rep, and I say, "Hey, I'm doing this customer appreciation golf outing. Do you have anything to give us?" And then I go and get like grills or speakers, like wireless speakers and stuff like that. So it's one of the most fun days, and I get to interact and have a good time and drink with my customers. And then we all go back to the Pickle Back and have dinner. And it's just one of the most fun days. It's a little challenging when you have a golf outing on a Saturday, and we start at 8 a.m. and we get back to the bar at 2 p.m. and you just have like 80 people in the bar that have been drinking all day, and you have like a family of 4 walk through the door, and they're like, "Oh, it's really loud in here." It's like, "Yeah, I know, we're partying." But that is by far, we are scheduled right now. We always do it the last Saturday of July, July 28th. That's what we're scheduled for. I don't know if it's going to happen, if our Governor Whitmer is going to allow big groups like that to happen. But it is something that I look forward to every year. But, you know, all the holidays, St. Patrick's Day is really big for us. My Uncle Mark owns the Conklin Bar, and the Conklin Bar actually hosts the shortest St. Patrick's Day parade in the world. So they all start at my bar, and then they go to my Uncle Mark's for the parade, and then they all come back to my place for St. Patrick's Day, which obviously we missed out on because we closed down the 16th because of the governor. But it's just another holiday that all the holidays are fun. You know, you get everybody in, and people are dressing up for Halloween. People are dressing up for New Year's Eve, the night before Thanksgiving. You know, it's just a great time to see everybody, and to, you know, a lot of people come home from college or out of town that you haven't seen in a long time. And it's just a great community. I just love Marne. I really do.
Yeah, for sure. So you guys started at 8 a.m. for this golf outing. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not very good at golf, but I definitely don't mind some day drinking. So if I don't want to golf, can I still come through and, you know, just have a good time?
Well, that's just it. I had a couple of guys last year, that they're like, well, I just want to go. It's like, okay, get a team of 4. Well, it's a scramble. So it doesn't matter if you're good. And I remember working at the pit stop when the golf outing was going on, and they made it out to be like the most competitive thing in the world. And guys would fight about who cheated and who didn't cheat and who won. So it's a golf outing. We do a scramble. It's best ball. You know what I mean? You and 3 other guys. And as far as the prizes go out, it's all random. I don't want it to be a day of people getting upset at each other and quote unquote cheating or not cheating. So everyone gets a prize. We do give out a little prize for like longest drive or closest to the pin and stuff like that. But as far as like who had the best score, nobody cares. We're just here to have a good time. So
right on. That's what I like to hear.
That's awesome, Stacie. That sounds like a great event.
One of my absolute favorites. I have all my customers. They asked me to have a second golf outing as soon as the first golf outing is done, and I'm like, no, you don't understand how much just went into this. So,
I'm sure it's a huge thing to plan and everything. Frankie's more of, you know, like a putt guy though than an actual golf type of guy.
Yeah, absolutely would just murder you on the sticks, dude. Yeah. No. Do you in golf?
No, never.
You'll fit in just fine. You're fine.
Yeah, I'll try it out. You know, I'd try it out for the sake of Pickle Back.
Yeah. No, well, I'm glad you don't make it too competitive, because I feel like you just, when people get competitive and they're drinking, it kind of just ruins the mood in my past experiences.
Yeah. So. And like I said, it's more of a customer appreciation. I think I did $70 a person, four-man scramble, 7, 14, 20. It's like $70 a person. You get a round of golf, 18 holes. You get a 6-pack of beer. You get all the Jello shots you want. You get all the dinner at the Pickle Back afterwards, and then all the prizes. So it's just, I don't know. I need to up the price. That's what I need to do.
I was gonna say $70. I'm sold on that.
Yeah. All right, so I know what a scramble is, but I don't think Joey does. What is a scramble in golf?
So it's a 4-man scramble. So each person in your group of 4 like tees off, and then you just take the best ball. So if us 3 plus one other person are golfing, and I have the best shot off the tee, mine's in the fairway and went the furthest, then we're going to take my ball. So we're going to go pick up everyone else's ball and go to my ball and shoot from there. And then we chip from there or whatever we have to do. So,
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Follow-up question with that now is, if you do plan on doing a second golf outing, do you know when it would be in the year?
If we're able to get our July 28th golf outing off, that'll be our seventh golf outing. If I were to do a second one, I don't know. Maybe September.
Seems like good weather. I could do that. You know, be
right?
Fall weather. You know, I could just slam a couple brews. Yeah.
It's just too hard to coordinate and get everybody to pay, and it's just, I like it. It's just an annual golf outing.
Okay, I was getting ready to clear my schedule just in case.
So an event like that, how long would you say it like takes to, plan and set up and get all the, get everything ready for?
Well, I learned from the first year that I have to pick my date, the day that my golf outing is happening. So if it does happen, July 28th, as soon as it's done, I'm going to go to Pat, the owner of Western Greens, and say, okay, I want the last Saturday of July next year. Mm-hmm. So that's my first plan. I've got to start a year ahead of time. And then I'd say probably probably March, I should be asking my suppliers for golf outing prizes. They give me t-shirts, they give me golf bags, they give me tees, they give me, keychains and all that good stuff, hats, and some of them give me beer mirrors. So that I start to do probably in March. And then I'd say like 2 months before the golf outing, I sit down and I make like an event on Facebook and I say, okay, our golf outing is at this time. You need to pay by this time. And you can't just make a team without paying. And then 2 weeks before, that's when I start taking everyone's money and going out and buying the prizes. I go out to a couple of the big golf places around town and buy like a bulk, fun prizes as far as like maybe golf prizes, golf umbrellas or something like that. But sometimes I go out and get like putters or drivers, just like something. And sometimes I'll like text some of my customers that I know that like to golf, and I'll say, what's a good prize? What do you think is a good prize? Is this driver a good prize? Is this putter a good prize? So there's a lot of planning, and then we have to figure out what we want to do for dinner. It's not an open menu. We just normally we've done in the past like chicken dinner. So we'll do baked chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, corn, roll, and butter. And then when you come in, this is what you get kind of thing. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, hopefully this has never happened, but what do you do in the case of like bad weather or something?
Every year that I have owned the Pickle Back, knock on wood,
yep,
we have had great, amazing weather. In the past, obviously, my mom, I think she was up to like 17 years of doing her golf outing. So what they do is they give everyone a free round of golf, and then they just basically party at the Pickle and give out, instead of like, the way that I give out prizes is really quick and easy, but I could make that a lot longer and kind of do like a present exchange kind of thing. So hopefully I never have to go down that route. We've been very, very fortunate with the weather on Saturdays and the last Saturday of July. So hopefully that never happens. But
oh yeah, fingers crossed.
So Stacie, yeah. I have a quick question. Is the Pickle, is that a nickname for your bar?
Yeah, I call it the Pickle sometimes. I don't know if you saw our motto or our saying. It's "See in the Marne" instead of "See in the morning." Yeah. But this new thing my cousin and I came up with is "Pickle Up." So pickle up. But you kind of have to yell it. I'm sorry.
Good. That's funny.
Pickle up.
That's awesome. If you say you weren't owning, the Pickle Back, what do you think you would be doing? I know it's kind of hard to answer. You don't really want to work for anyone else, and you love doing what you do. But I mean, if you had to choose another career, what do you think it would be?
I would assume if my mom and I didn't buy the bar 6 years ago, that I would have taken the promotion with the Knobs and Pulls company. I would assume that I would still be there because I had a lot of ideas and had a good time there. And I don't really know, it's hard to say where I would be without my mom. And I do know that I own the bar because of my mom. So
yeah, for sure.
What's one thing that you would say throughout the years that you failed at and then you later overcame?
I think being a manager in general, I was not great at in the first year. I have my major in college, it was entrepreneurship, and my minor was management. And you can sit down and study a subject for so long, but doing it hands-on is a completely different story. And just interacting with employees has completely changed from 6 years ago. So I think that definitely managing would be my answer.
Yeah, I mean, I can relate to that somewhat. I mean, I do have my undergrad degree in healthcare administration, and I've had multiple internships, in the healthcare field and stuff like that. But whenever you go into a new environment, and even like in the interviews, they ask you like, why are you a good fit here? And you have to be honest and you say, all right, I've studied the theoretical behind, the material, but until you actually get in there and do like the practical and you're interacting, in real life circumstances with high pressure, it's just completely different. And I think you touched on it, is just, it's hard to put into words, but once you do start getting those hands-on like real life experiences, then you can start to evolve and expand your skill set.
Right. And people are so unpredictable. You don't know what to expect from somebody until you deal with it. So the first time I had to, let's say, fire an employee,
right,
or an employee quit on you, it's how you can't teach somebody how to deal with that. And even like hiring a bartender, you can't teach somebody how to cut somebody off or to kick somebody out or to break up a fight. You just have to do it. You have to have the hands-on to do it.
No, I mean, I completely understand that. Moving on though, if someone else wants to start a similar business or start their own business and have that entrepreneurial mindset, what do you think that they need to have in their repertoire to start out, or what can they do to prepare themselves for that journey?
Experience. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, if you want to open a bar and you've never waited a table or bartended, do that first. You need to know what type of industry you're going into. And the only way that you're going to know that is if you do it. But secondly is definitely having people around you and your tight-knit circle, not only just like your support system, obviously you need a support system, but the people that you go to with your business decisions and questions, and pick somebody's brains. I've got the most amazing business insurance gentleman, Don Champagne. He has hands down done and answered every single question without hesitation. He's just kind of my go-to guy. And just find your people that you know and you trust and that are smart, and then obviously get yourself a lawyer. Make sure your business is legit. Make sure you're doing things right.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not easy. And I mean, as an entrepreneur yourself, and I'm sure you're always thinking of new and creative ways and, how to adapt. Do you think that you're going to have a new adventure soon, or what do you plan on expanding into for your next field?
We bought this bar 6 years ago. The first year we put the new roof on, we updated the electric, we updated the plumbing. The second year we replaced the entire flooring, 4,000 square feet of flooring. The third and fourth year we put the deck on, and this past year we actually remodeled the bar. So as far as our next adventure, honestly, we've done everything in that bar is new. Everything in that bar is what I want in a bar, what I've envisioned in a bar. So I don't really have like the next adventure because we've done these things over the past six years. The next hardship we have is reopening, and it's scary and it's going to be hard, but I feel confident moving forward. I've set up the bar where I've set up my business where I know that I can open my doors. And if it's in June, awesome. And if it's in January, awesome. And if it's in 2 years, we will reopen, so.
Yeah, for sure.
That is, I hate to use that as a scapegoat, but that's the reality of it, is that this pandemic has changed our livelihood, and all I can do is focus on the things that I can control, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's just a question we ask everybody, and obviously these are trying times, obviously not easy and stuff like that. But you have made significant renovations to your establishment. What is the one you're most proud of?
My most proud renovation, it's a toss up between putting on the deck and remodeling the bar. I think mostly the bar because it's so new. My mom and I decided to close the bar down for a week, and it ended up being a week and a half. We've never closed the bar down for any renovation we've ever done. and there was no possible way we could remodel the entire bar and not have pop and a service station and whatnot to do the remodel. But just to envision what I wanted in my head and to convey that to our contractor, and our contractors did an amazing job, and everything that was in my brain went into what I wanted. And, just to see that. And I randomly bought bowling alley wood from Chicago, had it shipped up to Grand Rapids, was worked on by my contractor, and that's our bar top. So like just the random things that I've thought of and done, and just to not only just to save money, but just to have the bar be unique and be different is just it's very rewarding. And to have the people that came in, we closed the bar in February. It was mid-February. We opened up. Like I said, it took a week and a half. So when we opened up the end of February, from February till COVID, we were killing it. I don't know how I was going to do another week of how busy we were. And just to have people come in and see the renovation was just overwhelming, So I think that's my proudest, because it came out of my head.
You've kind of touched on this before, but if you could give one piece of advice to anybody listening, what would it be?
Only worry about the things that you can control. If it's going to rain tomorrow, there's nothing you can do to stop that. The only things that I can control are the things that I can control. So that's what I'm focusing on in this pandemic, is that I can't control when our governor is going to open us back up. All I can control is my business, my stress level, my sanity, right? So I'm just trying to focus on what I can control. And I think that that in effect really grounds me in a way.
Yeah, I mean, you did touch on it. I mean, with this going on and people being locked inside for 6 to 8 weeks now and stuff like that, what are some things that you do to just keep your mental health in check, and just something else that, I mean, I should start doing, or anybody listening, because I'm going kind of crazy, not going to lie.
Yeah. Well,
I'm really crazy to being with him for this long, freaking every day in the office.
I'm telling you, I have keys to the bar. So I'm not going to lie. The first month that we were we've been closed for 2 months now. The first month that we were closed, I went from 40 to 60 hours a week to nothing. And I just couldn't sit still. I couldn't pay attention to anything. I couldn't relax and watch a movie. I couldn't do anything besides do things. So if I wasn't doing yard work or housework, I was at the bar. I repainted the entire back of the house. And my next steps going into the second month was to paint the front of the house. And my dad had passed away at the end of mid-April. And it just kind of put a halt in my gotta go mindset, if that makes sense. So it really just slowed me down. And I'm really grateful for that, because I'm spending more time with my family. I'm spending more time with my niece and nephew. And, it's just, I don't know. It's just a weird time to, be grateful for what I have and control what I can control again. So
I'm sorry to hear about your father. That's unfortunate.
Thank you. It's okay. It's just different times, having a funeral during COVID and not being able to be around the people that you love and whatever. So it's just, a lot of people are going through it. So it's not like, oh, woe is me or anything. A lot of people are dying, not only just because of COVID. My dad did not die of COVID, by the by, but it's just a different time. So
it is weird times for sure. But if we're going to be in Michigan, and I mean, hopefully soon we will be. I want to come up for the golf outing. That'd be sweet. And
yes.
Where is one other restaurant that you would recommend to anybody coming up to, Grand Rapids area, or really just anywhere in Michigan?
My favorite bar at the current moment, and it changes a lot, is the Holiday Bar.
Okay.
Right down the road from me. It's probably like 4 or 5 minutes away. I don't know why I love it so much. I just do. The bartenders are nice. And it just kind of became my bar in the past, well, before COVID, the past like 2 months. And the food's really good. Bartenders are awesome. They have TVs everywhere. They've got Keno, of course. I like my Keno. But the Holiday Bar is one of my go-tos. I really like to go to like the smaller places, obviously.
Yeah.
Popcat is good. I don't know if they're going to be reopening.
I don't know. We do always have to ask though, like what your favorite place is, because whenever we go out, we usually do like to make a night of it. We do bar crawl. We go from like one spot to another and stuff like that. But I will definitely keep an eye out for it, and we'll stop by your place absolutely multiple times.
Yeah, we will have a good time. I promise. I'm sure I'll be there.
But is there a reason why I feel like, because you just touched on it, is there a reason why every bartender has a favorite bar outside of their own?
You know, when I go out to eat or drink or both, I want to go to the Pickle Back, but I don't want to go to the Pickle Back. So I'm looking for a bar that's kind of like mine, where I can go and I feel like I can be myself. I feel like the bartenders are interested in me and can make a conversation with me. And, you know, I want to be served. The bars that do like the self-service and give me a buzzer, you go get your own food. It's like, I want to be served. I serve people every day. I just want to be served. So I think like just the service in general is what I'm looking for. I want that. I want what I give to my customers, if that makes sense.
Right, that's fair. I mean, I've noticed that a couple times where we'll be at one bar and I'll notice the bar owner from another bar or something like that. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of weird. Like, I would expect them to drink at their own bar or like eat at their own bar, but I guess it's like, I mean, musicians don't listen to their own music, right? Like, I don't know.
Right. It kind of makes sense, though. You know, you can't just be at your bar and only your bar 24/7. So.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't like to sit at my bar and have a beer or dinner or whatever, but it's also, you know, if I go out with somebody, you know, I'm there with them or a friend or whatever. Like, I can't go to my bar and sit down and relax because I'm going to get that pickleback sent to me. I'm going to have Randy come over and say hi to me, even though I just talked to him 2 minutes ago. You know what I mean? It's hard to. Randy.
Yeah,
I just know too many people in Marne, so
it makes sense. You don't want to be on a date and, you know, Kyle comes up to you or something like that. I understand. We're going to get into some of the more fun / off-topic questions. So to start that off, we always started off with this. Do you have any ghost stories for either your bar or in general?
Yes. So the bar has been there for a very, very long time. The building is old. It's very old and very scary at night when you're there by yourself. But I've also been there by myself since I was 18 years old. So over the years, obviously, I've gotten more comfortable with it. I do have a cook, Johnny. He always says, he'll like call me in the bag, Stacie, I need you. Stacie, come back here when you have a minute. And I'll go back there and he'll be like, were you in the back room like 2 minutes ago? Did you say my name? I'm like, no, I wasn't back there. I'm out front. And he's like, I swear somebody was calling my name. He swears that there's a ghost in there. And I don't know. I'm in there by myself, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, lights off. I don't care anymore. If we do have a ghost, he's very nice.
Okay, yeah. We actually had a previous guest on the show from Georgie's 419 in Toledo, and he said that their ghost he's friendly and he's fun. He likes to like turn on the lights and be festive. He likes to like mess with like the cooks, but no, it's all in good fun. I guess it's a very real possibility. I mean, so
yeah. I mean, I'm not. When we first bought the bar, our health inspector gave me like this huge long laundry list of things that we had to do. And it was whatever. It's just something that I had to do. So one of them was I had to replace all of the rubber baseboard in the back of the house. So I went in. I normally work Monday nights. I went in at like 9 a.m. and started to replace all of the baseboards, right? And I got more than halfway done and I was really excited, changed in the bathroom, went and started my shift. So my shift started at 4. I got done at 1 a.m. after cleaning the bar and I was like, I'm just going to finish. So I go back in the kitchen and I start where I left off and I start getting over towards like the basement. And I just freaked myself out, and I couldn't be there anymore. I just left everything out. I locked all the doors and I ran out of there. It's just kind of eerie. It's just eerie there when you're there by yourself, And the basement, I would never go in the basement at night by myself, ever. You couldn't pay me.
Okay. Well, I guess me and Joey will check it out when we're there.
I have people ask me to go in the basement all the time. It's like a time warp when you walk down there. There's like wallpaper on the wall. There used to be a bar in the basement, and they used to call it the Gopher Hole. And that's where like all the arcade games were. And there was a bar down there. And it's just, there's a lot of like intricate like woodwork down there. It's very cool. It is very cool, but it's scary at the same time.
That's awesome.
Frankie still has wallpaper on his wall, so not too outdated.
Weird.
I got some free time. I can help you take that off.
All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
It's just cats and dogs. It's a nice light blue font with cats and dogs. So it's pretty cute.
Ridiculous. So where's one place that you've been to that you would recommend to other people that they should go in the near future?
The Pickle Back.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, Pickle Back's good.
There's no favorite, like Cancun, Las Vegas, no like location like that you've been to?
Cabo, I guess. Cabo's fun.
Nice. How many have you've been there before, I'm assuming then?
Yeah, when we started our remodel, my mom and I actually took a vacation out to Cabo, and we started our remodel on Monday, the 17th of February, and my mom and I flew out the 16th. And I've never taken a vacation with my mom. I don't know. I just never thought it would be a thing. But I was like, you know what? We're remodeling the bar. We're closing the bar. We never close the bar. Let's go on vacation. And we ended up going to Cabo, this all-inclusive. And it was the most amazing. The waiter we had, I can't remember his name, came to us, befriended us, saw that we had the hangover the second day, brought us lots of water and hangover cures the next day. I don't even know what he brought us. But Cabo was absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed it. And I probably enjoyed it because it was with my mom, and I don't have that opportunity. I'll never have that opportunity again. But Cabo's fun. I like all-inclusive. But we should probably vacation in America from now on, right?
at least for the next few months. But yeah, in Mexico, water, tequila, same thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Cabo Wabo.
Oh, that's awesome. So we're gonna wrap up the show, but
I have one more question.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Well, I was gonna ask one last good question.
All right, we can each ask one more.
No,
question.
no, that's fine. You ask your question.
I have nothing to do, guys. Whatever you want to ask me.
All right. So I'll ask first. So, what's the most thrill-seeking thing that you've ever done?
A scuba dive. Never in my. I actually did it in Puerto Vallarta, and this was probably like 10 years ago. I am claustrophobic, and that is the first question they ask you is if you're claustrophobic. And I was like, what if I put yes? And they're like, well, then you can't go down. And I was like, okay, then no. Being underwater 30 feet, and it's a trip. And seeing turtles and eels and crazy fish, and being scared of sharks and afraid of water in general is, I don't know what came over me. I don't think I'll ever do it again, but I'm glad that I did it.
All right. That's solid. I mean, have you done scuba diving?
I have not scuba dived before. It seems like it'd be a crazy experience though. I'm sure you see a lot of wild, fish and other creatures that you don't normally see.
Like I said, just breathing underwater for 30 feet is a trip. I would, if you're ever anywhere where they offer scuba diving, I would do it. Just do it.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I've never done it, but it seems pretty sweet.
Yeah. We'll definitely have to give it a shot.
No doubt. I just wanted to go back. You guys do have like costume parties and stuff for Halloween. What is the coolest costume that you've seen?
Every year I laugh, and every year I love seeing people dress up. I just remember one of my customers, Barb, she's like in her late 60s into early 70s, her and her husband come in full trench coats with masks on, and Al is a girl and Barb is a guy. And when they open their trench coat, they're not naked, but they've got their other parts on, if that makes sense. So they were flashing people, but with other parts, but obviously they weren't real parts. They were whatever. But also, I feel like I did a really great job. I bought a pickle costume last year. And so I was a pickle for Halloween. And then the bartenders that I had working with me that night, I bought them Jameson sweatshirts. So together we were picklebacks.
I did see that photo on your Facebook. That was awesome.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. But I don't know. I'm always the judge, and I feel like I am biased, and I'm like, oh, that person's a really good customer. I'm gonna let them win, but I don't know. I probably should not be the judge.
I mean, why not?
Right.
Our favorite holiday around here is St. Patty's Day.
Yes.
As we call it, St. Fratty's Day.
Fratties?
St. Fratty's Day. Yeah, we're actually we were in a fraternity. Yeah, we used to have a pretty fun time during St. Patty's Day, you know.
What school did you guys go to?
University of Toledo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're both from Michigan, but we didn't even know each other before we came here. Joined the same fraternity.
Still didn't really know each other.
Yeah, I still don't really know them. Just spent 8 hours with them. And yeah, I mean, we did throw some bangers though.
Yeah, St. Patty's Day around here. I don't know why. I feel like every school bar, whatever it is, has their own like holiday or tradition that gets pretty crazy. And for some reason, ours is St. Patty's Day. Yeah. So
yeah. So you guys have to come up next year for St. Patrick's Day. Come to my bar for breakfast, and then go to my uncle's bar for the shortest St. Patrick's Day parade in the world, and then come back to my bar for green beer and Irish boiled dinner. You'll be perfect. You'll be fine.
So like how short is this parade actually? Because I'm interested now.
If you Google, I don't really know. It's like a block. I don't really know what it is, but I'm always working that day, so I don't get to go. But if you just Google shortest St. Patrick's Day parade, my Uncle Mark will pop up, and it sounds like a blast. I'm so jealous. I never get to do anything fun.
Well, when you come down, are you gonna celebrate the parade with us?
If nobody calls in, yes.
I'm sure on St. Patty's Day, people tend to call in a little more than usual.
Yeah, I might be at my bar, but I'll save some green beer for you guys.
All right, nice. Oh, yep, we found it.
I just looked it up, actually.
You did?
Yeah.
See, I told you. Conklin Bar in Conklin, Michigan.
Yeah,
yep.
That's a Conklin St. Patty's Day tradition.
Dating back from 1988. Wow, that's a very old tradition.
Yeah, my Uncle Mark bought his bar, the Conklin Bar, I think 5 years ago now. So he just turned 5. I just turned 6 and he turned 5. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm just reading this. This is crazy. Damn.
It's pretty cool.
It is.
It's a cool bar. Yeah.
Now that we're college graduates, we can no longer associate ourselves with fraternities and sororities of,
Well, I'm not graduated yet, but I'm graduated from the fraternity.
It is.
So I'm close.
All right, well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, and we appreciate your time. But where can anybody check you out on the socials, or where should they contact you?
Just on our Facebook page, the Pickle Back in Marne, all 3 words, 3 different words. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys. This was fun. It's something that I get to talk about, something that I'm very passionate about, and obviously that's my business. So I appreciate you guys.
Oh, we appreciate having you on the show. It's been awesome, and it's just a good time, and definitely got to make it out there. So
yes, please.